Mark Rogers TV at American Athletic Conference Media Days with Coach Tommy Tuberville of Cincinnati. Coach, you know, it's been 19 years since I interviewed you for the first time when you took the Ole Miss job at SEC Media Days, like 19 years ago. I think we both look better than ever. What do you think?
We've aged well. It's been 19 years, man. It seems like yesterday I walked on campus at Ole Miss and got into something I really didn't know what I was doing, being a head coach. You think you're ready being an assistant coordinator, and you move in and think that, man, I've got all the answers, and you really get in there and figure out, hey, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. But I really enjoyed it. 19 years, and like we just said, I feel like we're 50 or seniors. A lot of experience, know how to do some things well, some things not so well, but it's like anything else, you have to know your strengths and weaknesses. My strength is hiring good coaches. I've always been good coaches and good players make you a great coach.
That makes sense. Well, you faked it well at Ole Miss because you turned around that program in a hurry and went to bowl games when that place was a mess at the time. Then you go to Auburn, you win huge at Auburn, beat Alabama 6 consecutive seasons. There you go to Texas Tech, won there as well. So there's a pattern there. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to get my finger on it. Then you come here to Cincinnati. Now, in terms of personnel and what you like to do on offense, what you did at Texas Tech, it seemed like a pretty smooth transition in regards to personnel and type of offense.
Well, that was the biggest change in my philosophy I've ever had, going from being a coach in the SEC, where you better know how to run it, you better know how to you better know how to play defense. Then I go to Texas Tech, and everything was geared towards throwing the ball every down. Very little running game. Defense was kind of an afterthought, and coaches made adjustments. Mike Leach had left us some pretty good players, and we threw the ball around. And I learned more about the passing game in those couple of years I was there than any other time in my life. But that's kind of how things have over the years changed in college football. As a coach, and as I tell young coaches that get a head job for the first time, a lot of them, for some reason, they call me, they think I'm an older generation. I give them advice and hey, I don't care what you know on offense, what you know on defense. You better run what talent you have on your team. And you better be able to change. And if you can do that, if you can adapt with your players, you got a chance to be successful as a head coach no matter how long you've been there.
No Cadillac Williams at Texas Tech, I guess.
No Deuce McAllisters. But we had a pretty good football team.
So you come to Cincinnati here, and there's a great deal of tradition that maybe isn't known nationally, but a lot of tradition. You talk about different stadiums and the improvements made there. So what did you find in Cincinnati that maybe you weren't as familiar with and were pleasantly surprised about?
You know, of course, this is my business, so in the last 10, 12 years, I'd seen the University of Cincinnati really transform from a program that was just an afterthought football to a team that was going to BCS games, basketball, and you got to look at the correlation of what happens. And you know, there's some good coaches that's been through Cincinnati in the last 10, 12 years. But the common denominator, and I look at, is you got to look at your boss. You got to look at the guy that's the president of your university. And is he committed to your athletic department? Does he want it to work? Does he understand how an athletic department can help your academics, and how academics can help your athletic department, and how the whole school can work together? Dr. Sanondo, our president, who I talked to before I took the job, he's all in. And you've got to be all in when you're in Cincinnati, because the facilities have been very, very good over the years. But you know, they put about $250,000 into facilities and athletics the last 5, 6 years, and they're totally committed to winning football and basketball and soccer. He's a guy he doesn't get involved, but he's a great cheerleader. So he's given us that opportunity. Now as coaches, we got to take that opportunity to make the best of it.
All right, Coach, you referenced being a better coach today than 20 years ago, but specifically, what are the differences that you learned, and how is that transition from becoming a better coach and learning lessons? How different are you today than you were?
No matter whether you're almost 40 years old, and I'm at Ole Miss, now 59. And the biggest thing that I've learned over the years is that generation
I really do laugh, right? I laugh.
Which for us is social media. My goodness, you know, and social media really helps us in terms of recruiting and all those things that you know about high school football players out there. But you've got to be able to understand, you know, what they like and how to connect with them. And so I think the biggest thing of being a head coach, which I'm going into 3 decades, several decades of coaching here in a few years, is how to change yourself. Players aren't going to change. You've got to change yourself and understand the things that you'll use as a football coach to be able to communicate with us.
So that means we can find you on Twitter.
I am on Twitter. I don't do a lot of Facebook, but I'm on there. You know, there's not too many people that mention that it's high school kids, and even your players. You know, I want to connect with our players on our team. Of course, today here at Media Days, I've tweeted out some pictures with me and our players that are here. And hopefully our guys back there have seen the tweets, and our recruits have seen the tweets. Everybody is fans. So, and you've got to be out there with social media. If you're not,
Coach, you've been on both sides of the expectation game. You've been underestimated and proved the experts wrong, and then you've seen the other side of it. You're picked to finish in first place. How much stock in that?
Well, unfortunately, I've not known too many experts to be right. You know, last year everybody here was picking Louisville to win because they didn't win the championship. But I think it gives an idea of you as a head coach, your fans, your football team, and your coaching staff, an idea of what people think of. And that's pretty much it. You know, we've got a long season. We've got a lot of holes in it. This might be the first ever team maybe being picked to be number one in the conference. And you don't have to start a quarterback that's ever played. Hunter Keel. He hadn't played for years, so that's the important part. But it's, I think it kind of goes hand in hand with what the media thinks about Cincinnati. You always look at what they've done in the past. Of course, we've got a pretty good record on things that Cincinnati's done in the last 10 years. I think that just kind of goes over the fact that, hey, they got 15 starters back this year. It must have been pretty good.
And I've talked to 3 of your players. They seem to be very comfortable with knowing what the expectations are, but saying, hey, it doesn't mean anything. We got to show up in practice, work harder than we did yesterday. They also seem to gain some confidence in knowing that you've seen it all. It's not, there's not going to be anything out there that you haven't seen or faced, and they seem to gain some confidence from knowing what you've been through.
Yeah, you know, we had a good football team last year, and just for us being there in a short period of time and getting to know all the ins and outs of new teams to play and our coaching staff and all those players, we had a good football team. Unfortunately, we had some major surgeries and lost a lot of guys. We weren't quite the team at the end of the year like we were at the beginning of the year. But saying that, you know, it shows that we had just a short period of time to get ready. Now we've got a lot of guys coming back. We've got speed on the team. We've got a coaching staff that's ready to go, that's implemented pretty much the same offense and defense for 2 years in a row. Now let's see if we can improve. I think that's a big thing about college football is just trying to improve each year and get the most out of your players and try to build depth. If you look at our league and probably the upper echelon of, say, the SEC, the difference in us is, you know, the first line players are going to be pretty close. And so the guys that come in after those first line guys either get hurt or get tired. So at Cincinnati, we're working, obviously, on starters and learning offense and defense, but we're working 2 to 3 deep to try to get to a point where no matter who's in the game, they can play the championship level.
Speaking of which, did you have anything to do with putting the schedule together? Miami, Ohio State, it's challenging.
Well, you know, Miami was. Ohio State has been on the schedule for a few years. A few coaches in front of me kind of kicked that can down the road a little bit. So Tommy gets stuck with it. But, you know, I'm excited about playing our players. Know a lot of those guys, of course, being stable. You know, the thing about it is we opened up with 3 Ohio teams. Ohio State. So we'll be playing the Ohio State championship there the month of September. See how that goes, but it'll be a great challenge for us. Irvin and I coached against each other several times, and I understand what they've got. I've watched them on the field. They have a great chance to run the table. Got close last last year. So it'll be a fun challenge for all of us, our fans and our players. But again, you still got Toledo, who's got a good football team. When you have rivals like that, that's what makes college football fun. And that separates us from pro football. It's the rival games that your fans can go to, sink their teeth into, and really enjoy it because they know both teams.
And if people look at the history, Cincinnati's held its own against Ohio State. Those have not been blowout games. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate the time, and it was good to see you.
Good to see you. I'll see you again in 19 years, right?
How about 19 years? Let's do it again.
Okay.